Hey guys, what's going on? It's Typical Wrestling here with another episode of the big WWE Save the PG era rewritten. And we are on the go home episode of Monday Night Raw before we head to the biggest party in the summer, that being SummerSlam. So we're currently in the Staples Center, which is fun fact where I originally was going to have it at the Staples Center, but I realized just like with how much money like the event is going to be, because SummerSlam, ever since they did the first one, it moved up in status to Legendary, I believe, in the game. So it's pretty much on par with WrestleMania now. So just the amount of money I could potentially be losing by not having it in WrestleMania, or not having it in WrestleMania, but not having it, like having it anywhere else in the Staples Center is a better idea. So I figured we'd do Raw and Smackdown from the Staples Center. But we have a kind of pre-show match, a 10-man tag between Abraham Washington, Saviors of Perfection, and Crime Time, take on the babyface team of Alexander Rusev, Mamma Mia, and Dragon. And the heels pick up the win when Kurt Hodge defeated Kyle O'Reilly with a McGillicuddy. Definitely changing that name because that name sucks. Fuck Michael McGillicuddy. Although I should have kept the Michael McGillicuddy name. That would have been funny. But yeah, no, pretty solid pretty solid pre-show match. It's a main event of the pre-show. So to open up Raw off, we have a pretty big announcement. Is in the main event, we're going to see 6-man tag. It's going to be Brock Lesnar teaming up with CM Punk and The Miz to take on the babyface team of Randy Orton, Chris Jericho, and the WWE Champion Kofi Kingston. So that's going to be the main event of Raw for our evening. And about the had decent wrestling, but didn't have much heat. Wonder why did this star quality inconsistency, short match length. I don't want to make it too big a match length, so that's my bad. Motor City Machines defeat Pride and Honor in 13:02 when Chris Sabin defeated Richie Steamboat by pinfall with a Made in Detroit. During the match, we also had Tyler Breeze run and attack Chris Sabin during that match. So we're kind of building up that segment of the storyline there for Motor City Machines to challenge in their rematch clause for the WWE Tag Team Championships against the Second City Saints. And then in a decent match, in about 5 minutes, the Big Show defeats Yoshi Tatsu with a choke slam. But it's after that as the Big Show screams, because the Big Show, I guess he just likes to scream. Like, you've seen him scream before, you know what I'm talking about. He attempts to drill Yoshi Tatsu, grabs him by the throat with another mighty choke slam, but Yujiro Takahashi runs out to make the save. He uses some cruiserweight maneuvers to buy Yoshi enough time to retreat to the back. Upset at this, the Big Show manages to grab hold of the Tokyo Pimp, seeming ready to finish off his opponent for SummerSlam, when all of a sudden, fire spews from all four corners of the ring. It's Kane. Kane's pyro is enough. Yujiro wriggles free, he rushes to the back, and Kane stays on the ramp, staring at the Big Show, who seems kind of irate. He seems pretty unhappy. He looks like Kane didn't really appreciate Big Show's attempts to soothe him last week from where Kane was just kind of feeling off. So, perhaps something is going on between the Kane and the Big Show. And then we have a kind of generic promo in which CM Punk and The Miz are cutting a promo on their main event matches. They're talking about mostly, Randy Orton and Chris Jericho, but they talk about, how it would be good to beat the WWE Champion to get some mention for their number one contenders, Fatal 4-Way at SummerSlam. Brock Lesnar is not here. Brock Lesnar's too good to cut promos, apparently, with CM Punk and The Miz. So, they kind of joke about that. But basic promo segment. I didn't feel like writing this one out. And in 83, a decent match, England's finest, Wade Barrett, Doug Williams, and Nicolas Magnus defeat Team Raw, which is John Morrison, R-Truth, and Evan Bourne, when Wade Barrett hits the waistline of Evan Bourne following interference from Seth Rollins and the rest of the Shield. Those dirty Shield bastards managed to, interfere in this match. And as soon as that happens, we have a massive brawl. Like, there's all kinds of crazy shit. Like, John Morrison and Seth Rollins are flipping about. Dean's just throwing punches with R-Truth. I actually think maybe Evan Bourne. And, Evan Bourne does it. He just randomly does a start. Like, he tries to do a... What's it called? He tries to do an aerial move, and just Roman Reigns spears the shit out of him and just kills him. Wade Barrett just starts beating the shit out of Roman Reigns, and I couldn't fit Doug Williams, but him and Nicolas Magnus. It's just a huge brawl with huge awesome spots, ready for their big match at SummerSlam. You know, there can only be one winner in this big old feud, and who's that gonna be? Next, we have a segment in which we see Tyler Breeze is walking out of his locker room when he's confronted by Colt Cabana. Colt Cabana, the normally cheery superstar, is aghast, saying Tyler Breeze's recent behavior isn't what Second City selfies stand for. They're about having fun. They're about good wrestling and having fun. And this cheating, these sneak attacks certainly wasn't how they got to become WWE Tag Team Champions. They earned that. Tyler Breeze doesn't really seem to care, though, as he just rolls his eyes and walks right around Colt Cabana to his unknown destination, wherever he's going. Sorry, there's some noise in the background. So yeah, it looks like there may be some tensions in the Tag Team Champions. Maybe that'll play in somehow. And in a decent little match, Nikki Bella defeats Angel Williams, which I believe she made her debut on Superstars. I can't remember if she's made her debut on the series or not. But she pits with the Bella Buster. Astrid Junior ran in and attacked Nikki at the same time in the segment. And then we have another brawl, not as big of brawl as the last one, but the women have a little brawl, and Trish Stratus is forced to run in with security to broke it up. A lot of hyping up this kickoff show match, but it's a match nonetheless. Being on the kickoff show on SummerSlam is better than not being on SummerSlam at all. And about a good heat that had decent reaction crowd are actually good and shown. A lot of the matches kind of disappointed rating-wise, but I figured this would deliver. Daniel Bryan and Chris Hero go one-on-one, and Daniel Bryan's managed to hit Chris Hero with submission with a triangle choke. During the match, Wade Barrett ran in. Well, he didn't run. He distracts, Daniel Bryan. The only way, Bray Wyatt, he knows how to do. Was this going for short match length? No, this was not for short match length. I was going to be mad if it did, because it was I specifically said it's 19 and 17 minutes for some reason. Damn it. So Daniel Bryan picks up the win over Chris Jericho. And Bray Wyatt, he makes things short. The rest of the Wyatt family are kind of surrounding Daniel Bryan. And Bray Wyatt simply, he challenges Daniel Bryan to a match at SummerSlam. And Daniel Bryan kind of laughs it off, saying, that's what you wanted? A match at SummerSlam? He's like, dude, I'm the baddest man on the planet. It's tap or snap, dude. It's Bryan Danielson. Look this shit up. Wrestling is in my blood. You wanted a wrestling match. You should have asked for it, brother. So Daniel Bryan doesn't seem to care too much, and he's going to now... It's official. I forget if I had booked this. That's why I had this angle. It's going to be officially Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt at the biggest event of the summer. And we have a segment where basically we see McMahon was not supposed to be on screen. We see Stephanie McMahon. She's crying over... She's worrying about her dad, who's going to have to fight John Cena, who has tried to legitimately murder people so far. And Stone Cold's there hey, guys, I hate McMahon, and I hate you. I wish I could beat you up right now, you two Triple H. But you need me, give me a call for emotional support. An emotional rattlesnake, if you will. Triple H does the same thing, trying to console his wife. Austin Aries at one point walks in the show, and Stephanie just looks over, get out. And then Austin just kind of walks back. He was going to say something, but he's like, you know what? I don't think I need this right now. So it's a funny little segment in between this and the main event, which I believe the main event is next. And in a 92A, Chris Jericho was the weak link, so he really dragged this segment down. Damn it, Chris Jericho, you suck. No, I'm just kidding. Chris Jericho, Kofi Kingston, and Randy Orton defeated Brock Lesnar, The Miz, and CM Punk when Kofi Kingston defeated The Miz with a Trouble in Paradise. So the babyfaces get that momentum win on their way to SummerSlam, but we do have the end of Raw, in which we do have a little nice segment in which after his teams defeat Brock Lesnar, he immediately is like, well, I'm going to beat up my teammates now. CM Punk, as soon as the 3 can hit, CM Punk's like, nope, I'm done here, brother. I'll see you later. And so Brock goes after The Miz, and he's about to beat The Miz up, but Kofi Kingston picks him up like he's crouched over him like MMA shit. Picks Brock up, turns him around, and just headbutts Brock right in the head. Just massive headbutt. Somehow, someway, this knocks Brock Lesnar down on his ass. Randy and Jericho are stunned because they're like, did Kofi Kingston just headbutt Brock Lesnar? And Paul Heyman is like, his mouth agape. That's the only comedy spot right now is that Paul Heyman looks like he just saw a dead ghost. A dead ghost, great. Brock puts a hand up to his forehead, and there's like a trickle of blood coming out. And Brock looks up at Kofi Kingston, and the last shot of Raw is Brock he laughs a little bit. Like he's like, okay, now this is actually time to take this match seriously, I guess. So that's how we end Raw on our way to SummerSlam. And that did a 95A. I thought that would have gotten a lower rating. But all in all, pretty good Raw, all things considered. I like getting a 98 stars. And yeah, that's the last Raw before SummerSlam. I'm excited. I know I was going to say I might get someone to collaborate with this, but and I wanted to say this before. I'll probably do it for WrestleMania. I feel like either WrestleMania or Royal Rumble. Those are the two, like, I'd like to do that. Like, I know I said that for SummerSlam, but then I realized, that's probably not something I would want to do. It just didn't feel like big enough, if you know what I mean. But, yeah, we're going to be, we have one more event, we have one more SmackDown, and that's it. So I will see you guys all for that.